Tonight on the MTN News, more Montana mystery as our big sky gets big-time attention.
I don't know how to explain it, really, but it was not like anything I've ever seen in the sky before.
We'll tell you about the latest strange sighting spotted over south central Montana, plus caught on camera.
You wouldn't see things shredded that are official documents, things like ballots or affidavits of any kind.
An investigation's underway after a poll worker recorded this video on election night in Carbon County. We'll tell you what the county claims was happening. The MTN News starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us on your Friday night. I'm Russ Riesinger. Tonight, an investigation is underway in Carbon County into allegations of possible ballot shredding on election night. Now, it all started with a complaint from a poll watcher. Q2's David J. has been digging deeper into what happened.
The case was first reported to the Carbon County Sheriff's Office. It was handed off to the Red Lodge Police Department and is now with the State Division of Criminal Investigation. A poll worker says he witnessed the shredding of election material on county surveillance video. This is the video that has Carbon County poll watcher Chip Bennett concerned and asking a whole lot of questions. It was captured November 8th, election night, on the county's election office security cameras.
We see our election administrator shredding what appears to us to be absentee ballots.
That's Chip's wife, Lisa Bennett. She says the video is partially blocked with a privacy screen, but claims it shows 21 batches of documents being run through a shredder.
We know that there are multiple pages going through. We can't quite tell how many pages that she's counting.
The Bennetts contacted the county and filed a complaint that prompted an investigation that is now in the hands of the Division of Criminal Investigation. But there is another side to this story. The county says the video doesn't capture what some think. While no one from the county would speak with us on camera, County Attorney Alex Nixon provided this statement to MTN, which says, Carbon County officials and employees did not shred ballots as alleged in that video. The shredding undertaken by the Carbon County Elections Administrator, which is depicted in the circulated video, is the shredding of ballot copies received via email from uniformed and overseas citizens absentee voting act voters. An explanation that makes sense to Christina Barsky.
You wouldn't see things shredded that are official documents, things like ballots or affidavits of any kind. Those all have to be retained on the retention schedule.
Barsky is a professor of public administration and policy at the University of Montana Law School. She's also a poll watcher in Missoula County. She says if what the county is claiming is true, it's perfectly legal. Overseas ballots are received via email, and those emails are often shredded after being transposed to ballots.
If they print it off of a printer in the elections office and then put it on the paper ballot, that printout could be shredded because it's not a voted ballot.
But the Bennetts aren't convinced.
What we see in the video does not match up with what they claim it is.
They say the optics of any documents being shredded on Election Day are worrisome at best, and they fear the activity captured on video is illegal.
I'm personally hoping that there's a good explanation for this that makes sense, but I'm not hopeful.
In Billings, David J., MTN News.
The state capitol was packed today for a hearing on a bill to establish right to work in Montana, laws which generally prohibit mandatory union participation. MTN senior political reporter Jonathan Ambarian has a closer look at the bill that supporters say protects workers' freedom and opponents say is simply an attack on unions.
Supporters of House Bill 448 said they knew it would draw a lot of attention, and they were right. Ahead of Friday's hearing, opponents lined the hallways outside the committee room. HB 448 would say people can't be forced to join a union or pay union dues as a condition of employment, and require they give written authorization to have money for the union deducted from their paychecks. Supporters said workers should have the right not to pay money to a union whose policies they may not agree with.
Freedom to associate is meaningless without freedom not to associate.
Representative James Bergstrom, a first-term Republican from Buffalo, is sponsoring the bill. He told MTN this change would require unions to be more responsive to their members.
You know, if they're doing good things for their members, then their members are going to stay with them.
But dozens of union representatives and members testified in opposition to the bill, saying it was a step toward weakening unions' ability to effectively bargain.
What 448 does is it starts to erode and defund unions.
After the hearing, opponents gathered on the Capitol steps for a rally. Brandon Caldwell, an organizer with the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Union, said it was important to show they're united.
If you look at all the t-shirts out here, all the stickers, everything, it all includes brotherhood. Every one of us stands to do better when we all do better. We all want to stand together and we want to push that, but that's the biggest thing.
Unions also rallied at the Capitol in 2021 when a nearly identical bill was proposed. That bill was voted down on the House floor. Bergstrom said he felt this was an issue that should be brought up every session, and those against the bill said they'll be back each time it's proposed. The House Business and Labor Committee took no immediate action on HB 448 after the hearing. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
Tonight, a Montana Highway Patrol trooper remains in the hospital in serious but stable condition following surgery after being run over. Authorities are giving us a better idea of what happened and who's responsible. This all started yesterday afternoon when Lincoln County deputies attempted a traffic stop for 41-year-old Jason Miller of Eureka. He was wanted on a warrant and instead fled. The trooper, who still hasn't been named, joined in that chase. When Miller lost control of his truck, the trooper and deputies approached, but Miller drove toward police, striking the trooper. Miller was eventually caught and arrested. A teenager died in a crash late last night on Billings West End. Police responding to a single vehicle wreck on Grand Avenue and 54th Street just after midnight found a 19-year-old male dead at the scene. Montana Highway Patrol is investigating that crash.
In Montana, technology that automatically captures license plate information is banned. Now that means a camera won't catch you running a red light, it won't catch a car zooming past a stopped school bus, and it also won't catch a car speeding through a school zone. One Montana group hopes to change that for the safety of our kids.
When we get into a vehicle, it's a weapon. And we need to treat it that way.
A weapon in the form of a truck running a red light killed Kelly Fulton this fall, a well-loved Bozeman High School teacher and Billings native.
His little boys ask every day why their dad had to die. And it's impossible for a parent and for a family member and for friends to explain to them why they don't have their dad anymore.
And just a few months earlier, a close call. A speeding vehicle hit an 8-year-old boy biking to school at Poly Drive Elementary in Billings. He survived, but these scary situations sparked the formation of STRUT, Safety Through Responsible Use of Technology, a concerned citizens group hoping to spearhead changes that could save lives.
I think it shouldn't take the death of another person to put these things into place.
First priority, lobbying the legislature to legalize automatic license plate readers in Montana.
If they were placed in speed zones, it would pick up the speeders. If it were placed on school buses, it would pick up people who are illegally passing school buses and record it and be able to cite them. And that's a key issue.
Strutt says ALPRs could also be used to catch vehicles fleeing a scene, for Amber Alerts, or even to track known drug smugglers crossing state lines.
The goal is to change behavior. It's not to find people.
However, the movement does have opponents who are concerned about privacy, including the ACLU of Montana, which acknowledges the technology can help fight crime, but at the same time agrees with its national organization, saying enormous databases of innocent motorist location information are growing rapidly. This information is often retained for years or even indefinitely with few or no restrictions to protect privacy rights.
In the beginning, the technology was such that it took a picture of the whole car and the occupants. Technology's come to the point now where it can take only the license plate number, but does record the car, make, and model.
In Billings, Diane Parker, MTN News.
High temperatures across the state today. Actually, a very nice day for late February. 40s across northeastern Montana, 30s pretty much along the middle third, and some cooler temperatures out into southwestern Montana. So really overall a fantastic Friday for February. Things we need to talk about moving forward for later in the show. Some mainly mountain snow for Saturday night across the Beartooth. Some of those may make it out into the plains, but nothing significant on the plains that period. But Monday through Wednesday, there will be periods of some significant snow. Can't emphasize that enough on Tuesday and Wednesday for sure. Tuesday through Friday will be in the deep freeze. Some of the coolest temperatures since Christmas out there by Friday morning. Again, the Tuesday morning and afternoon commutes will not be fun. We'll talk about it later in the show.
Another strange sight in the sky here in our area, raising even more questions and speculation tonight. You may have seen some of the photos making the rounds on social media. As Phil Van Pelt reports, whatever it was, it has a lot of people talking and wondering.
After a very unusual month with all sorts of strange sightings in the sky, activity is still going strong, and we've received dozens of reports of strange occurrences above Billings.
Cassie Favaro saw something in the skies over Billings West End Thursday she still can't explain.
I just want to know what's going on. I think like everyone's looking at the sky a lot more lately.
She's just one of many seeing some unusual sightings in the sky.
I tried to take pictures of it. I don't know how to explain it really, but it was not like anything I've ever seen in the sky before. It was coming down fast, and then by the time I got home, it was already like dissipated.
But those unusual sights, often debunked, seem to still leave more questions than answers. When news broke of the Chinese spy balloon over Montana on February 2nd, it caught public attention. Then, fast forward 24 hours after that, and another video caught national attention.
Not sure what it was, not sure, what I saw.
Dolly Moore was thrust into the national spotlight after capturing this viral video of something strange in the sky.
I did see something, I did hear something, I experienced something.
Moore says she's been on the receiving end of ridicule since the video surfaced, and these recent sightings have come as almost a relief for her.
Probably at least 10 people have sent me like DM messages that say, this is what I saw, and stuff, and just to validate my claims that something did happen.
While the speculation is wide-ranging, MSUB professor Dan Wellham says the explanation could be obvious.
But in terms of these that have shown up in the last 3 days, I think really what we're looking at is a contrail that was disrupted by air currents.
Something that seems to have increased lately.
Is this going to be a daily occurrence of something now? I don't know. I don't know why now Montana. It seems like Montana is the hot spot.
In Billings, Phil Van Pelt, MTN News.
Ahead on the MTN News at 10 here on Q2, turning bus benches into big bucks. A recent move by Met Transit in Billings is already paying off. And we'll hit the hardwood as district tournaments heat up. Also a reminder, you can get all the scores on montanasports.com right now.